Okay guys, we're gonna get started with our presentation. First off, I want to say thank you for having us here. I'll introduce myself first. I'm Heather Hemming and I'm a health educator for the Sault tribe. And I also work on the Sault tribe Community Transformation Grant.
Ani Buju, Manitou Gegek Indigenous Cause. That's my spiritual name. That stands for Spirit Hawk. My other name is Justin Miller. I'm in AmeriCorps Vista working with the Sault Tribe Elders Division.
Okay, again, thank you for having us here. We're going to start off our presentation with just doing a quick overview of what our SAMA seating program is going to be for you guys. For those of you that weren't at the Grand Tribal Youth Council meeting in March, what we'll be doing is we'll be working with you guys on growing traditional tobacco, and we will be providing tobacco seeds, the potting supplies, and what you're going to do is you're going to bring that back to your site and you're going to begin planting traditional tobacco throughout the summer and into your Circle of Life program. And throughout that, we're going to have Keith Smith, who is a traditional healer. He'll come in and do some traditional teachings with you guys. And he's also one of the speakers we have today. So that's going to be our main project, but we're also going to have you guys be really creative and film the journey of growing your traditional tobacco and make it into a contest. And with our grant, we're going to provide those video camcorders for you guys to use. So then what you're going to do is you're going to film at your site, and at the end, when you're done growing your tobacco, you're going to make tobacco ties for the powwow in August in Newberry. And so we're going to kind of make it a contest, and we're going to review your videos and pick a winner. And you guys have some kind of award at the end. And then what we'll also do is we'll take your videos and we'll combine them into one video so you guys can either bring it to the board of directors to share or however you want to share it. So does that sound good? Awesome. Anything else you want to add, Justin?
I just want to talk a little bit about the seeds, where they came from and how this kind of all began. When I first moved up here in April, I had the opportunity to go meet some tribal members in Munising, Chris Levesque and Melvin Dunn, and they gifted me some tobacco seeds. And from that, we thought it would be a good idea for those seeds to spread throughout the community, because they were gifted those seeds 7 years ago, and now in the 7th year it's returning to everyone. I was also gifted some other seeds from some elders in Harbor Springs, and their wish was for me to give those to people. So here it is. What I've noticed is that sometimes we don't feel like we have the authority, or maybe we don't have access to those teachings or access to traditional tobacco, and we become really reliant on commercial tobacco. And there is a difference. And that's why I partnered with Heather, because we feel it's really important for you guys to understand that and the meanings behind those things. And we want you to learn it for yourselves. So the only way to do that is for you to literally plant the seeds so that you can understand that. So what we have over there on the table, when you guys get ready to leave here, we have a little bit of soil. We have 4 cups for you guys to take back to your area. And we have a choice. Do you want the seeds from Munising or the ones from Harbor Springs? So that's up to you. And then I think, are we ready for Keith to speak?
Yep, we're going to bring in our first speaker, Keith Smith, and then also Peggy Hemingway is going to speak. We're going to take a minute and switch out the microphone, so it'll just take a couple of minutes. So thank you.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Good. All right. My name is Keith Smith. I'm from Red Lake, Minnesota. But I presided for a lot of years in Wisconsin. That's where my wife and I, Valerie, who's sitting back there, raised our sons. And they're all older now and on their own. And so I want to talk just a little bit today about what this project is about and what our role is with the traditional medicine program. Also, my sister here, Peggy Hemingway from Traditional Medicine, Peggy Hollapa, is here to talk a little bit too about maybe some of the the women's things as far as tobacco and offering tobacco. And how many here know about your tobacco? How many use your tobacco? All of you, huh? Oh, one anyway. All right, good. So let's talk about that a little bit, okay? So these little seeds here is what this project is all about. And what we're trying to do the best is to instill into our youth and our young people here of what that means and what tobacco means. Tobacco is used in all of our ceremonies. Peggy and I are both belong to the Medicine Lodge Society. That's why we can say we're brothers and sisters that way, you know. Other than that, we work together and know each other really well. Of course, then with my wife's family, the other society I belong to is the Big Drum Society, and it's a real special, beautiful drum. We do ceremonies 4 times a year with that drum. And so, but these societies help us in the things that we do in life. Nowadays, I work here for the Sault tribe, which is the oldest and probably the most successful traditional clinic in the nation. And so I'm really happy and feel very fortunate and humbled to be able to work with the Sault tribe. I work a lot of different areas. I work here in the Sault. I work Newberry, Manistee, Hessel, Escanaba, and Newberry. And so, so how many of you here got your name? You know what your Anishinaabe name is? And that's good. So that's a good start. So know that we also help with that. And you can think about that. And it's always a good thing to have that if you want to do that. You make an appointment with us if we're in your area. And our schedules are usually posted on the Sault Tribal website. And you come in and we can help you with that. So know that these little seeds here are what, I guess around this way, I heard it referred to a lot as green tobacco. It's a little tobacco plant. Sometimes they can grow pretty big. And then also over by my wife's family there, this is where I first learned about this tobacco. They call it ninsama. So it kind of has a tobacco taste and smell to it, but it's the tobacco that we use for offerings, and tobacco offerings are important to us as a people. Like I said a little bit ago, it's used in all of our ceremonies. It's used when we need to ask for something. So if you make an appointment with traditional medicine, or even if you're going to go talk to one of your elders about something, you should always offer tobacco. And with that, then that's how we've always been taught to pray. And if we talk about the proper way of offering tobacco, is typically some say the left hand, some say the right hand. It's different in all areas. But myself personally, I use left hand, and because that's the way we've done it in ceremonies, especially over there with our Big Drum Society. And you can always offer that tobacco in a fire. You can offer a little tobacco in the woods on the east side of a tree. You can offer your tobacco in any body of water, lake, stream, little river, anything like that. Or even if you're just out, and about and want to, as long as it's a nice, clean area. And what this tobacco does is it sends all our prayers over there, and then our relatives, they know what we need here, what kind of help we need. Even though they can still see us and help us the best they can, our older stories tell us that without our tobacco, it's hard for them to really help us and really know what we need. But when we ask for that help, they send that help. You know, and the humbleness behind offering tobacco is knowing that you don't have to tell anybody that you're going to offer tobacco. Maybe you got a relative that's having a hard time, maybe someone that's sick, maybe a friend, and you can put a little tobacco and include them in your prayers. You hang on to that tobacco, and then you offer that tobacco down in a good way, and you let anything go, anything you might be going through yourself as well. So know that this is their goal here, is to reinstill what tobacco is all about for the Anishinaabe. And I can tell you that it does many, many good things for us in these little teachings we talk about today. And you can also go to your older elders in your community. You can ask them a little bit about maybe what they remember about tobacco, because somewhere out there's an elder just waiting for someone to come and give them tobacco so they can share stories with you about your community, about where you're settled at, where your people and family are. And so they really appreciate that. Along with that, sometimes too, especially with our elders, we also give a little gift. When I talk about that, it's you give them anything, maybe something you made, you know. Maybe if you do beadwork or something, you can make them earrings or something, or maybe you just buy them a little something, you know, whether it's a little towel or some hand towels or something like that. But what that gift part of our giving is it shows the spirits how much you're grateful for getting what you're going to receive out of that little talk with your tobacco and that little offering of a gift. Even if it's a couple dollars, even if it's a $10 McDonald's card, anything's a gift, as long as you just offer it in a good way and you tell them what you're asking for. And if they don't know, maybe they send you to the next one. You know, maybe they tell you as much as they can remember, but sometimes that's all our elders are waiting for, you know. So as we get into this, we want to bring back what tobacco is all about, and there's many ways, and nowadays a lot of people are growing this tobacco here, but in many other areas, how it's grown is very different. You go back to my wife's Potawatomi and Ho-Chunk, both of those tribes, only the men grow it there. No women grow it there. And sometimes if you have the desire to see if this tobacco will grow for you, then you go to that one that's grown tobacco, they give you a little bit of seeds, and then you plant them, and if it grows for you, then it'll grow for you. So some of you, don't be discouraged if the plant don't grow for you. What it's telling you is that you're just not ready. So don't take it to heart, don't take it like you're a bad person, and sometimes maybe try again in a couple of years and see if they grow then, you know. Only when you're ready, because it's a commitment. You're going to be talking with this plant, you're going to be watering these plants, you're going to watch these plants growing, and then eventually you're going to be getting the leaves, you're going to be drying them, and you're going to have tobacco there. You know, and it's very important. So it's a really good project that they're doing here. And so I appreciate all you taking your time. I know it's spring break. My wife and I are in school too, and we're learning more of the language out here at Bay Mills. So we get a spring break. So now we just got work this week and not school at the same time, except this weekend we got immersion, which is really fun. So know that. Also learning your language, even a little bit, even if it's a small prayer for your tobacco. You can ask your elders for that. Go to your speakers within your communities, or the one that goes around and they teach the language to different areas. Approach them at some tobacco and tell them you want a prayer for your tobacco. And they'll help you with that. They'll tell you how to say it and how to speak it. It's going to take practice to learn. Maybe it's just a couple of, I guess you can say, sentences or something like that. So around the communities all over, this tobacco is grown. And many different ways nowadays, like farming, they kind of cultivate it. My wife's relatives, they grow it just like in a regular garden. I shared a story with some of the people at the meeting last week. There was a Ho-Chunk, or Wisconsin Winnebago, old man that lived down the road from my wife's grandmother. And what he would do is he would kind of cut out, kind of like this. This is the kind of area he would just open this up right here. Get it all tilled up and ready for planting. Then he would take a handful of these little bitty seeds and he would talk with the Mother Earth there and those tobacco seeds. And then he would tell them what he wants, and then he would take it and he would literally just throw it over his shoulder like this, and all those seeds would go in here. And then he figured whatever he got to grow in there, that's what he was meant to have. So, and that's what he's always done. That's the way he's always done it. And so I believe that probably his relatives now, this old fella's gone, are probably doing it that way as well. So there's many things. You guys are the starting point to see and learn what this is going to do for you, how it changes your process about what tobacco is, how it changes your process from separating that from cigarette use and loose tobacco. Commercial tobacco use is different from what we consider our tobacco we're going to use for offering, but all tobacco is sacred. Okay, when people need help, they bring me loose tobacco, or maybe they bring me some of this tobacco, or they bring Kinnick. And sometimes maybe they smoke cigarettes. They'll give me a couple of those cigarettes. I'll break those open and I'll help them out the best that I can. And so So know that even though a lot of our relatives probably smoke and stuff like that, that's the kind of separation we're trying to bring back, that respect. And this is what you guys are all going to be learning here, is knowing that this plant can be grown by you from start until harvest time, and you're always going to have that. And who knows, maybe when you get older and you have a little family, you can say, you know what, I grew tobacco one time, I have time now, and I remember everything I did. I'm going to grow some tobacco with my family, with my sons, with my daughters, and we're going to watch this process. You know, we're going to watch everything grow. So know that this is a really, really important thing that they're trying to do here. They want to do their best, so I appreciate that all you guys coming here and taking a little bit of time to listen to me and the other speakers and presenters here about what tobacco is. And like I said, there's so much more to it. And also Peggy's here. She wants to share a little bit about maybe on the female end of things about tobacco and how to offer tobacco, when not to offer your tobacco and things like that. And so with that, I do appreciate your time. I did bring a little bit of seeds here. I told Justin I'd bring him these seeds here I got from my wife's relatives that grow our tobacco for our family there in Wisconsin. And so I brought some seeds for him that he can implement into the program, and know that he can always have these, because these are so tiny. To know that a really beautiful plant can come out of this little bitty seed it's really cool to watch. Really cool to kind of know you played a part in taking care of that. And always be respectable. Always try to think really good thoughts. Always try to do things the best way that you can. Any questions, of course, you're going to go back to the people within your program, the youth workers within your area, and know that this is really a good starting point for this program to kind of show what we really do feel as Anishinaabe people our tobacco is, because it is very important. So with that, I want to bring Peggy here and have her talk a little bit as well.
Hey, good one. Abuju Anishinaabe Duk, Shkini Kwewak Minwa, Shkinigwishak, Nin Windago Kwe, Asema O, Migaze and Dodem, Chinga Bang and Donjaba, Bating Anishinaabe Duk, Akaziga Magun, and Da no Ki. My name is Peggy Halapa, and I work in the traditional medicine program. I'd like to just talk about a little bit of things that I've learned about a Sema. And in our language, people associate a Sema with the tobacco or kanik, but actually in our language, it's the act of putting it down. You're offering your tobacco. So it's really an action that you're doing. We use tobacco a lot in our program because for everything that you ask for, like my job is to pick the plants, the medicines that the healers use. So I have to offer tobacco to that plant and ask permission from that plant to gather it, pick it, tell it what we're going to use it for, who is it going to help, be real specific. Plants are just like us. They're alive and living beings. And it's hard to wrap your head around that because they're in a different level than us. They have more DNA than the animals. They have more DNA than people. Tobacco is a really unique plant, native tobacco, in that it's so intelligent. It will send out warning systems. Well, all plants do, but tobacco will change. If it's being attacked by a certain bug, it sends out these smells that other plants and other bugs can smell, and it attracts beetles or different bugs that will eat that bug, whatever is attacking it. It will even change within 8 hours. It usually flowers at night, and that one bug that will come and pollinate it will turn into a caterpillar and then start eating it. So to stop that certain type of caterpillar from attacking it, it'll bloom during the day, which is really unique and just awesome. How smart and how adaptable tobacco is. Tobacco is like a sponge. That's why they say when you touch it, even if you don't say, whatever you're feeling goes into that tobacco. So you don't even have to say out loud, just hold it in your hand and think about what it is that's bothering you or who you're thinking about, who you want to help, and that tobacco absorbs it. So that's how it works. We call tobacco the leading spirit, or Naganazit Asema, because that's the first one that you use when you're seeking help from the spirits or elders or healers or you're picking plants. The reason it's called that is because, well, we use it first, but the spirits don't have tobacco. That's why we offer tobacco to the spirits. They have everything else, but they don't have tobacco. So that's why it's so important, and that's what they want. If you're asking somebody for help all the time and you don't give them anything, after a while they're going to stop listening to you. Oh, here she comes again. I wonder what she wants. Or, you know, you get tired of helping. So that's where our Anishinaabe people believe in giving back, and that's what how the tobacco is used. When Keith was talking about certain areas where just the men plant tobacco, or women, I've heard women pass their menstrual cycle when they went through the change and their grandmas, then they can handle it. It's because of the moon time cycle with women. When women, young women, especially young women, you're very strong and powerful when you start your cleansing time. And we don't handle anything. We don't touch plants, medicines. We don't cook. We don't clean our male clothes or bedroom. We leave our sons and husbands' stuff alone, and we just take a rest. And women need to learn to do that, and you won't have trouble when you're getting older. But that's the reason why women don't usually handle plant tobacco, because how are you going to take care of it if you're on your moon time, you know? But men don't have as many jobs as women, I think, anyway, so they could take care of the tobacco. Women have to do a lot, take care of the kids, the house, the work, everything, take care of the house. So it's a nice sharing of duties. I've seen tobacco do really good things, really miraculous things. People don't use their tobacco enough. Every day they say, put it out. How many puts them out today? You know, it just takes a minute. If we just get in our head, 2 minutes it takes to put your tobacco out in the morning. You don't even have to pray with it. Just hold it and think. Put it in a clean spot. Or if you don't have a clean spot by your house, put it in a nice dish. And when you accumulate a lot, you can either burn it or go put it in the water like he said, or a clean tree. Just that few minutes will make a difference in your life. You'll see. If you have dreams or something that you're trying to figure out, ask those spirits to help you understand, give you guidance in your life. Especially young people, there's so much you're facing now. It's hard. All the situations you find yourself in, suicide, drugs, alcohol, all these different things, bullying. There's so many issues you have to face now. If you just use a little pinch every day and ask for guidance and help, help me today. I'm having a hard time. That's all you need to do. It will make a difference. So I guess that's like a challenge. There's been a challenge on Facebook in Anishinaabe country where everybody was jumping in the water. The men and women were making snow angels and stuff. But I'd like to have a challenge. Use a little bit of tobacco every day. See how many days you can do it. You know, see, and you'll start seeing the results in your life. Things will just go better for you. And that's what the spirits want. So a lot of times in a family, it's somebody's got to start. It spreads. I've seen it so many times. People come in for their name, and they start learning, making their tracks on the earth, practicing this way of life that was given to us. Pretty soon they're happy, and the other family members start coming in, and they're teachers. So you all can be teachers for your family. You know, start practicing our way of life so we don't lose it, so we don't lose our tobacco. A lot of the plants are being attacked, we're losing them, and it's because, from what an elder told me once, we don't use those things anymore. We don't use birch bark like we used to, we don't use black ash like we used to, things like that, you know, now that they're being taken away from us slowly. I don't want to see tobacco taken away because it's so important. It's like the basis for everything in our way of life. So that's my challenge, and you'll just see. So, miigwech, if anybody got any questions, or I didn't want to talk too long because I know it's hard to sit and listen to somebody, even though I'm an awesome speaker. No. Miu.
Well, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the speakers that were up here before me, and I think they did a great job. I'm probably going to cover some of the same things a little bit, just probably in different words, I guess. I was passed Sema to speak here today, and so I'd like to use this opportunity to relate a little bit of a story and hopefully a message. First, I'd like to introduce myself. George Eugene Tessier IV, Indijnakaz, O Chichak and Dodem, Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians and Dodem and Dagoze, Oshkim and Conning and Donjaba, Bejik and Gwes and Dowa, and so Babungiz Ninjin, Mishkeke Makwa and Shnabe Nosman son. And so my name is George Tessier IV. I'm from Newberry, Michigan. The Crane is my clan. I belong to the Sioux tribe, and I've always felt real close here in the Sioux. I grew up in Newberry. I feel drawn to this area. I like to come up and visit here, and so I'm honored today to speak to you as young people. I think that you've got a long ways, a lot of things ahead of you, and so please, I hope you can take something from my words and apply it towards your life in some way. So when I talk about Sema, I say Sema and Sema Ke Da. Let's go work with the Sema. Sema for me has all the knowledge that I've acquired from through the tribe has come through Sema. My name, my clan, my colors. A lot of the people that I've met, I believe, are a direct result of using my Sema. We have ourselves our medicine wheels, our Mishkeke Wa Ya, and I use that. I look at the medicine wheel, and I see Sema there in the eastern direction. Sema will brings that newness. Sema is that representative in the eastern door on our medicine wheel, and it's not man-made. Although we have to watch out in the future, your generation may have to protect Sema from being genetically modified. So, again, going back to the medicine wheel, the wheel is there to keep us as a tool to help us. It helps keep us in balance. And so that Sema, when you have something like me, I recently quit abusing Sema. I was smoking it all the time, kind of recklessly using it with not a purpose in mind. And it would put myself and my loved ones in danger. And so I started to recognize that, and then I realized that if I could get over my need for Sema, I have this kind of desire for it, kind of I enjoy it. And when I quit abusing it and I started using it more traditionally, making tobacco ties, putting it out as offerings, I was giving something that meant something to me, something that was valuable to me. And so I think that's the best way to approach any situations when you're having a problem or there's some sort of imbalance in your life. You're going to have to give something in order to balance that out, something maybe in another area of your life. So for me, Sema now, I look at it as a sacrifice, something that I'm giving up for something else. And since I've been doing that, I've noticed a great deal of changes in my life. People, things, my own perspective changes. The first changes I noticed were within. It was more of a clarity. My life became more, I can't really put it into words. It'll be something that you have to experience for yourself to recognize within, the changes within. A lot of my relationships changed. I became closer with my son. As I said, I have a 3-year-old son, and he's growing up now. And Sema is a good tool for us to work with. We work together so that he hears. Like I'll try to use our Anishinaabe language. I use Anishinaabe mon eta api nama keing when we're working with our prayers. And so that using that Sema gives us that opportunity to use new words, push it a little farther, talk about a little bit more. So it's kind of like an exercise for us. I have a lot of faith that it can bring about great self-improvement. Keith mentioned bringing Sema to elders. I've been doing that in my neighborhood, and it's amazing the things that you'll learn from them. I mean, things that you can't learn any other way. And it's like I'm saying, it's through that Sema that brings that opportunity. In particular, I use Sema. I say Sema nadmoshin wewenej Anishinaabe moyan. Help me to speak the language properly. Maybe a few of you will have these. You've seen these books, like the Mishomis book. This is a good resource. This will illustrate a lot of the relationships our Anishinaabe ancestors have with Sema. Specifically, it says in here, Sema was given to us in order to pray with the Creator. Another book I highly recommend, God is Red, Vine Deloria Jr. He's got a lot of great perspective on Anishinaabe or Indian, in general, pan-Indian religion in comparison with Western worldviews. I think that a lot of Western worldviews are kind of imposed on us, and it creates a lot of confusion. We take the wrong assumption about life and death and our relationship with our natural environment. And so with that, I would like to share a digital story that I created, and it kind of tells a little bit more about my personal experience. It's going to be different for everybody, maybe you won't pick up the habit of smoking commercial tobacco like I did, because it was a challenge to give up, but at the same time it was the sema. I used this sema to actually help me to quit smoking and abusing sema. Kidmanan mi sa'anin, nga oke debajamodes. George Jean Tessier IV, indigenous cause, Oachi Chuck and Dodem, Oshkimin Conning and Don Jaba, Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians and Do Debendagoze, Bejik Ngwes and Dowa, Cha Chance Gijin Kazod, Mishkeke Makwa, Anishinaabe Noswin San. I have been asked to share my story about smoking cessation. I quit smoking mainly because I was misusing sema, exposing myself and my loved ones to harm. I look at sema as a sacrifice now, and I do my best to use it in a responsible manner. Ambe dangwes, sema begid nagame. Sema widokwishnong jinamayong medash Gwek jibamoseyong, miigwech. Nad moshinong wewinet je nishnabe moyong. One day, I received a call from a leader in my community. He asked if I was home. I said yes, and he said he was on his way over. He brought our community's eagle staff and asked me to carry it in a good way. Shortly after that, I was able to see the importance of smoking cessation. I decided to quit misusing sema, and instead I used sema to pray and for support in my smoking cessation. There have been significant changes in my life, and I have grown into a better person, learning from my experiences. It has not been an easy process, but I draw inspiration and motivation from my son. For instance, the other day, I offered him some gum. He said, "Yeah, I want it all." No. I asked him why not, as I was shocked at his sudden reversal. He said he was just going to eat it up and swallow it down. In other words, misuse the gum. I said, "Apajingitchinandamingwis." I was so proud of my 3-year-old who had turned away gum, something he really likes, because he recognized that he would just misuse it. I have people to help me along the way, and I cannot take them for granted. Migize and my son have been medicine for me, traditional medicines. Miigwech to them. I no longer misuse sema. Another thing that has been helpful, Mashkore washk. Ambeingwes, Bequenzo desme, Mangwa. Migo minik, miwe. And so I appreciate your time today. I hope that you can take something from the message and apply it towards your life in a positive way, and learn from kind of like I say, that when we get together around people, well, that's how we learn, and that's how we get to get maybe a different perspective on things. And you are all still young, so I wish you the best in your life as you guys grow, and look forward to you guys being a part of our tribe as you grow older and mature with us. Miigwech.